Hi and welcome to FTV, I'm Neil Anderson. These are the big stories making the news in the Forest this week. Sheep farmer Jeremy Audrey has been handed an interim antisocial behaviour order preventing him from keeping sheep in his home village of Bream. The interim order, which was served on Tuesday, followed a joint application by Gloucestershire Police and the Forest of Dean District Council. The order bans him from intimidating or communicating with certain individuals. The 59-year-old has been summoned to appear at Colford Magistrates Court for an application for a full ASBO to be heard on March the 25th. The Forest is revving up for the Wyedean Forest Rally, which will be held next Saturday, February the 9th. This year, the Shakedown and Press Day was held at Bishopswood House, courtesy of Mervyn Freeman. FTV went along to see how things were shaping up.
Rally's shaping up very well. The forest stages are in superb condition. But as you well know, we've got some closed public roads at the moment, which we are slowly getting round. Certainly the one from Cannock to Moira Stock will be closed. The other ones at the moment are closed because of landslips, and they should be open for the rally, but we have a contingency plan.
A road safety message will be driven home at this year's Wyedean by two of the youngest drivers in this year's event. 20-year-old Ross Leach and his 19-year-old co-driver Jess Newitt are showing that motorsport is a viable option for young people who want to drive fast in a safe environment. Ross's uncle, Mike Webb, is a founding member of the pioneering road safety team Time and Place. We caught up with them as they got their car prepared for the rally.
Well, from a young age my dad used to take me out to the Wyedean and maybe caught the end of the network queue when it used to come through the forest. And so I've always been interested in cars. I could tell you what car was coming along the stage at one time. And so natural progression was to get in a car and do it myself. It does take a certain amount of experience, so you've got to pass a bars test to do it, but with good instruction you can do that no problem. The only element of it is the money. I mean, it's cost around £2,500 to build the car, and the entry fee for the Wyedean's about £400–500, and then you've got tyres and fuel expenses on top of that.
This, I think, is just the way to go. If you've got a passion for going fast, don't do it on the road. You get off the road, you get into a rally car, and you do it the way Ross has gone. I mean, he's not rich, he's a student. He works in the evenings, does bar work to pay for it. It's no big deal. Anybody can do it. Most road safety organisations ignore it. And if you ignore it, I think you ignore it at your peril, because this is what drives young men to do what they do on the road. They see it on the television and they think, yeah, this is it. But when you start to learn about roll cages and you start to learn about fire extinguishers and all the other kit you have to make the car safe, you suddenly think, well, hang on a minute, my road car is not a particularly safe thing to be going quickly in.
And finally, soldiers from the 1st Battalion The Rifles bid a fine farewell to Lt Col David Brown on Friday. Soldiers from the regiment, based in Beachley, did a 5-mile run across the Severn Bridge before Lt Col Brown was whisked away on a search and rescue boat operated by the charity SARA. FTV went along to see the Lieutenant Colonel set sail.
To mark Colonel David's farewell, who has been the commanding officer of the 1st Battalion The Rifles for the last 2.5 years, we decided to mark it with something a bit special. The battalion had just been out on a run across the Severn Bridge, there and back about 5 miles, and the Colonel will be in the sent off from camp on a SARA lifeboat to have a bit of a play in the Severn up and down. It's to mark the fact that One Rifles moved here in August. It's One Rifles in the community. We're very much part of the region, and also we are joining 3 Commando Brigade in April. The fact that he's being sent down the river from our slipway seemed relatively symbolic and quite effective.
Well, it's a huge privilege to be able to command a number of soldiers, and what I hope I've done is given them a foundation so that when they go out to Blees in 2 weeks' time, they can take that training to the next level, and should we potentially deploy overseas at the end of this year, they will take their training and harness it and be a highly effective unit on operations. I'm actually just moving across the bridge, and I'm going to be working in Abbeywood for the Department of Equipment and Support. So indirectly, I'll be in a supporting role, so hopefully getting the very best equipment as quickly as possible to those riflemen that I've just been recently commanding.
That's all for FTV this week. Don't forget to check out our full video of the Wyedean Rally Shakedown at Bishopswood House at www.thisisgloucestershire.co.uk. For more, including a roundup of all your local news and sport, grab a copy of this week's paper. Thanks for watching.